What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog coming in here. Listen, y'all was making fun of me wearing my little hoodie, my beanie when it had a beach backdrop. So let me put the Digital Liberty poster behind me. Statue of Liberty holding the cell phone, being free. You can also be free, and you can also join us this year on our amazing journey we're on. You take the 15-day challenge right there, $7 to freedom, baby. Or you can join us on our email list there about you get a free guide. And also, we have a lot of cool links. Every couple of days, I'll drop 5 to 6 new affiliate marketing free links that you can use. And you see the video title. What is the real cost to access millions? This video is based off of a couple things that happened this past couple days. But I saw Diamond Dave's video he put about the power of networking. And again, I put the link inside the description. I'll also put it in the chat. And the reason I really enjoyed that video is he talked about in the past how he worked at a hospital, and it wasn't where he applied at all these jobs and he had all these great grades. It was someone connected him to a job. Straight direct connect. Like, hey, I got a friend over there. What's up? Let's go. And I'm paraphrasing, of course. Please go watch the video and drop your city and state in the chat. And that's how most people get their jobs. They do lots of studies. 80% of people get a job from a connect. So, your girl's been in and out playing with the tech field stuff. And it wasn't until I got onboarded that I saw there were over 150 job positions open. They just weren't posted online because it was an internal hire. It was an internal suggestion. It was hey, you suggest this person get this job over here. Or do you know somebody who's already ready to go and we can slot them into this position? This is what most companies do. They've done countless studies on this. And I'm going to go over several things today. I got I think a good 45 minutes hour. But when I was in college, I was at East Carolina University. They had a lot of Black fraternities and they had a lot of white fraternities. And the crazy part is the white fraternity guys was like, oh yeah, we hook each other up. And I got to see after my friend graduated, he was a Black male. He had a alumni magazine and it had people posting what their companies were, where their businesses were at. So basically, so you could support them. And if you needed a job, if you're a fraternity brother and you had a good resume, you could come over here and just hop in and get a job. Well, one of the Black guys that was in my class, he was in one of these white fraternities and he went to Wall Street. Now, this brother was in class with me getting a sociology degree. I was getting a business degree and a minor, like a second degree in sociology. And I was like, you ain't even in financial classes. He was like, well, tell me about your classes. And so he took maybe like 4 of the same financial classes I was taking because I was really trying to be an economics major. But listen, your girl was partying. Okay, let's just tell the truth. Shame that your girl was partying. So long story short, you miss so many econ classes, they get you out of there. They be like, you are not an economist. Get your rump out of here. But long and the story short, I had a lot of great economics classes and he was in a couple, not a lot. He wasn't major. It wasn't his part-time major, was none of that. He was a sociology degree brother, eking by in a white fraternity, and he went to Wall Street. There was also one of our football players that went to Wall Street. And I was like, what are these two brothers who didn't study that going to Wall Street? It's because of who they were and who they knew. It's because of fraternity collections. The Black fraternities on campus, everybody had a hookup at Wachovia and Wells Fargo. And I don't know if you're old enough to remember Wachovia, but it's before they merged, right? So Wachovia, you had about 46 brothers out of the Alpha Phi Alpha and the Kappas and one other Black male fraternity. They were all working at Wachovia. They were, and they knew they were like senior year. Most of them were like, hey, I'm going to be in Charlotte. Hey, I'm going to be in Florida. Hey, he got me a job. I'm going to be in middle nowhere, Georgia. Hey, he got me a job. I'm going to be up here by Cary. Oh, he got me a job. I'm going to be in Virginia. And I was like, how y'all connected like this? And it was just the power of who their network was, right? I told y'all I worked for several Congress members. I worked on city council in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Cumberland County. I worked on city council and a couple other campaigns. John Edwards. And it was kind of like, oh, you want a job? They don't pay a lot, but you can come to DC. But really, they wanted to take the top Duke students, the top UNC Chapel Hill students. They don't want to take that many East Carolina Pirate folks. They just didn't. And so you realize quickly, college wasn't about studying. It's never been about studying. Like when I went to ECU the first year, 90% of all classes had second and third generation Black people from DC and New York. And they would look at you like you were some country bunkin'. Like, oh, you here at ECU? What you doing here? Because they were second and third generation, right? Again, you had second and third generation, all kind of folk in there. And so they had already, that was their little lick, is they would send their kids down south to go to a cheap East Coast college. So you had all these New Yorkers in there and they were studying. And you're like, why are you down here? Like, oh, my parents bought a house. I rent out all the rooms and I go to college here. It's cheaper. And I'm like, but out of state costs so much. Now, this again, when out of state was like $5,000, it was nothing. It was no money. By the time I left ECU after I did my 7th year, it was like I was doing some grad stuff. It was like 10K. It started to get expensive. It was like 10K a year, right? And so these people were like, this was a lick. North Carolina, East Carolina sent them down here from New York, DC, and all these places on generational scholarships and stuff. And they come back up to Virginia. They come back up to DC. They slide into a government job because their parents knew somebody. And it was that. That was it. And what you learned in college, which some people didn't, some people just learned to party, and I was half that way too, is they didn't come here to connect with people, right? We had people who were hermits at school, and I'm like, why'd you even come? Now, I'm not telling people your daughter come to college to marry a man, because let's be honest, ECU, when I first went, had 8 girls to 1 guy. They posted it in the Playboy Bunny magazine, like 8 girls to 1 guy. And the next year I went to school, this is how powerful magazines were. It was literally like 3 guys to 1 girl. Within 1 year, it had flipped. And what was crazy is all the military guys would drive up from the base and come over to hang out ECU because they knew there were so many girls who didn't have boyfriends, right? And so what you realize is college wasn't about studying. It was literally about networks and connections. And I remember this girl's father was a judge, and he was so mad at his daughter, who was a nurse, marrying a military guy. She said, honey, you're a nurse. You give commands. You're marrying a man who receives commands, and he's supposed to be the leader of your household. He basically was shitting on military people, but it was very like unique listening to the story of how her parents thought this military guy was beneath her, and they sent her to college to find someone of her equivalent there. Now you hear some people, college ain't nothing. They broke, they in debt, they working at baristas. If you meet somebody who left college and they're working as a barista, they did it wrong. I'm just being honest with you. Like, no disrespect, no shade, because there's people in here doing that. They got to work, they got to get a job, they got to do what they got to do. But there were people offering jobs to like stay on campus. I got offered something at Fraternity office. I'm like, I ain't staying here in Greenville. I'm leaving out of here. Like, people were offering you jobs nonstop. Job fairs came and offered jobs nonstop. I told y'all when I first went to Afrotech in Oakland, there were Facebook staff saying, you want a job? We can get you 100K. Like, I think you're cool. Come on over. I'll just fill it. Get your stuff in here. I'll just call my manager. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that. He's like, girl, you get trained on the job. And so what people don't realize is the real cost to access millions is just your network. Now, there's a video I wanted Jimmy to do from By the Hood, and he's not going to do it. He good people, he won't do it. And it was like, making $1 million is easy. And what happens is you get so much hate when you describe it. When you say, hey, man, I've had people just give me the blueprint. I know just to follow it. And the facts is, it's some of it is who you know, right? And so it's not hard. It's mentally hard. It's mentally hard when you want to prove yourself, right? Now, prime example, I have a Facebook group called Breaking into Tech Careers, and there's over 35,000 people in there. And the average person spends all day saying, well, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get these degrees. I'm going to get 20 certifications. And I will show you person after person who will come on my channel who only have 1 certificate. They went on LinkedIn. They reached out to every hiring manager they knew. They started chatting folks up back and forth, and they were hired. Now, when you tell them that, oh no, I can't, I don't want to do that. If I tell you, you go on LinkedIn today and you just pick a company that you like, you go look at who's all on staff on LinkedIn and you start communicating with them, it will get you in the door faster than your degrees. And people don't like that. Because there's something my friend always says all the time, that's not fair. And I would laugh and go, life ain't fair. Nothing about it is fair. It's never going to be fair. Now, I think I told y'all before I go into these groups, I'm going to tell y'all, my nephew and I have another family member. They are basically going to inherit / be gifted 2 businesses that are worth $3 million. My nephew is 17 years old right now. He is a very hard worker. So much so that several men who own different companies, types of service businesses in town, have been like, man, your hardworking nephew comes over here and cuts grass and yada, yada, yada. Great hardworking kid. You know what? I don't have a grandkid interested in this company. I don't have a son interested in the company. I will basically bequeath all these like $3 million in equipment and stuff to him for a small, payment fee because I believe in this kid's work ethic. And I'll probably do it about when he's about 19 or maybe 20. Let's let him get 2 years underneath me studying, following what I'm teaching, and maybe do some years over the road or something, a year over the road, make sure he's mature enough to handle it. But then I'll let him take this whole thing over. I got another family member. She's like, "Oh, I'll just sell you this accounting office. It ain't that big of a deal." Because the young lady's great at accounting. And I mentioned those not to brag on my family or like, "Oh, we're so great, blah blah blah." That's not what this is about. This is the power of relationships. My nephew, by the time he's 20 or by the time he's 19, 20, he'll have a company that has $4 to $5 million worth of equipment and is great payroll, has staff already, and he'll just be groomed to take it over. And that is the power of relationships. And that is the power of networking. And so when people say, well, oh, I have a business or, yada, yada, I'm like, nothing's like your parents or someone inheriting it from you, right? Inheriting it to you. When I went to ECU, there were several guys who were just party hogs. But when I came back to town, their father gifted them and their insurance company clients. So they came onto the insurance company already with clients. So ECU didn't matter because they were coming into insurance with a leg up over everybody they knew. Most insurance companies, if you guys try to go work for them, they're going to tell you call all your friends and family, right? Because by the time you're 35, 40 years old, you should have a big enough network to call all your friends and family and pull up out of $1 million to $2 million worth of policies. Average African American, it's not happening, right? So we're trying to teach a lot of people how to start a business because they can't just pull from their immediate network. And this is something no one wants to hear. This is, it's who you know, right? That's a really convenient thing. But the truth is, there's a little weird beef or something online in the manosphere. And this young man's like, I'm going to get into tech. Well, 2 or 3 people who teach tech in this space said the dude couldn't even finish their classes. So he can't have a job in tech if he can't finish their classes, and they're going to help him slide his foot in the door in somebody's company. I think y'all don't understand the purpose of a lot of these classes and courses. The reason I even promoted Course Careers is Course Careers got a call from Dale. Hey, we need 45 people right now. What's up? And they can do that because they already have what? They have the people who bought the courses. They can tell you who finished the courses, who didn't finish the courses, who LinkedIn's updated. Again, data is important, but network is more important. It's more important. Right? So I'm gonna hope I didn't lose everybody, but hey, what's up? Come in, drop your city and state in the chat. That'd be great. So there's a couple groups, and I'll name one. I don't care. Apex Entourage. People say, why you join that group? This doesn't seem like I got a lot of men. What's going on? Why you join that group? And I go, because I literally, anytime I go to an event, like I just went to an event not even a few weeks ago, and by the time I sat in my seat, 7 different guys was like, hey, don't you have properties in Cleveland? This guy has a whole restoration company that does $7 million a year in Cleveland. He's like, yeah, tell me what you need. I'll give you a discount. I go over here, turn to my right. He's like, oh, I do roofing. I have like a $10 million roofing company here in Dallas. Oh, can you do roofs in Central Texas? Yeah, I can do them. Tell me where you're at. I'll give you the discount. I turn around. Another guy goes, oh, I heard you had a hard money problem. I said, yeah, I'm having a problem. He's like, oh, well, tell me give me your numbers, give me your stuff. I'll go ahead and try to work it through. And that was within sitting down in a 25-minute window where one of the people were like, oh, yeah, Erica's doing this, this, this. And the men around me immediately were like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. No problem. Awesome. Great. And that's why I joined those type of events. And on top of the fact that they just loaned, they have the main guy is doing loans, right? And he just loaned out maybe $26 million in the past 9 days or something to that effect. And one of the guys wanted to get a $5 million loan. And they were like, oh, I remember you. You canceled your contract for something. Not once, but twice. Oh, I'll never loan $5 million to you. Oh, but I have this robust business that does this, that. No, dude, it's not about that. It's about the network. It's about the principle. It's about the integrity of a thing. And people get lost in that. People get lost in that. So a lot of times when people are like, who are your group? Who can you pull from? Who can you call? Okay, can you join a group? And then they give out your information, your number, what you're trying to do to 7,000 people and everybody in there is trying to help you solve your problem. That's the power of groups. That's the power of investing. That's the power of why they charge people 10,000 or 9,000 or 1,000 to get their foot in the door to a certain level, because they got to see you're serious. All right? Um one of the real estate groups I was in, somebody was complaining about money. And the guy was like, "Okay, well, hey, I know these hard money people." First thing they get on the phone with him, they don't ask him about his project. They say, "Well, who's on your job? Who's your roofer? Who's your electrician? Who's your this? Who's your that? Who's your this?" Why? Now, why would they do that? Because the hard money people already know who's the best of the best in town. They know who's a fast worker. If you name off somebody they've never heard before, they're like, "Who? Is he licensed? Where'd you get this guy from?" It's a simple math equation. And if they don't know, they're going to go find out real quick. Let me see if this guy does his work. Let me see if this guy runs off on money. Let me see if this guy does A, B, and C. And no one wants to talk about what's the true access cost to millions. You're going to have to network. You're going to have to work with somebody. Anytime somebody talks to me about some lone wolf stuff, I start laughing. I go, "Baby, everybody's tried that. It don't work." And the reason I laugh when people are against marriage is half the men I meet at these events, they got the 100K from their wife. Like when their business started taking off, they turned to their wife. They ran her. They said, "Look, let me get you some credit cards and let's get you some credit." They get her 100K in cards. He got 100K in cards. Company never has a hiccup because she's on board and she knows, well, these cards are for this. They're for this company to keep rolling. Right? That's why I tell y'all, when y'all be like, "I'm gonna try to get my cousins, my auntie, my mama, and them, everybody gonna get on." No, 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 no. We can all put $500 down and do this thing. Nah, baby. You need to get you and a friend. If it's two guys and y'all can agree to disagree, right? Y'all can agree, "Hey, let's go get 100K and some cards. Let's get 3 or 4 cards and let's stay focused on this business." Sometimes you don't even need that many cards. Sometimes you just, between the equipment costs and just making sure you're running ads for the next 3, 4 months, you're good. Just enough to cover payroll, right? And so a lot of times when I start hearing people talking about creative financing and they're going to do all these loops and jump through nets to get all this creative finance, I'm like, you don't know nobody. You ain't called around. You're not connected. You're not plugging into groups. I already know that's your problem. You're trying to do something on your own, and nothing in life works that way. I meet so many people who get so upset, man. "Oh, I can't get anything done. I can't get further. Bank won't approve me." And I go, "Well, who are you talking to? Anybody in your group? Can you write a list of people in your group?" "Oh, what group?" You ain't joined no groups. Listen, when I talk to adults who are in their mid-30s, they ain't joined no associations, no fraternities, no nothing. I'm like, "Have you joined the Chamber of Commerce?" And people be like, "No, I haven't even joined them." And I told y'all, we had one friend who the city was getting ready to tear up a bridge right in front of his business. And he was like, "Hey, this will destroy my business." And they were like, "Oh, we didn't even know a business was there. This dude is doing millions of dollars." And they didn't even know he was there. So I said, "Look, go run down there, join the Chamber of Commerce, pay the little fee, get them to fight for you, and go see every single city council member, or see the first city council member over your district, over your region, over your little area, and then see all the rest." Within a week of him joining Chamber of Commerce, talking to every city council member, connecting everybody in that area, all of a sudden the bridge didn't need to be done. "Oh, we can delay it, or we can move it over a little bit. We can delay it a year." You can't fight a city if they don't even know you're there. You can't even, "Hey, we're doing millions of dollars." "Oh, we didn't even know you were over there." City didn't, because there's millions of dollars going in any city at any time. Right? When I would go to Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting ceremonies, people be like, "Okay, who this? Where's your company? Where's your business?" "Oh, my business is across from Fellow State University." "Oh, that's wonderful." But I'd make sure I was there at the ribbon cutting ceremonies. Why? Because people remember who stood up for them on what? Their opening days. Just a little hint for y'all. Right? Groups are the way. It just is what it is. So fraternities for sororities. I just told y'all about ECU and those guys joining those fraternities. 9 times out of 10, people who are joining fraternities, sororities, they usually can reach out to within their network and have a job. If they can't, there's a problem. Right? So golf classics and galas. Many people will be like, "Oh, I'm not wasting my time on that. I'm going to work here. Come on, get to the hustle, 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 hustle." And I'm like, okay, you'll burn out. Right? The golf classics are a way to, we're giving money to charity, we're seeing whose business is viable and who's who, and we can talk and chat with. The galas is when you dress up, you're going out, you're giving the money to charity with the plate, but really it's you're talking to who's who in the room. That's what it is. It's that's your access card. That's your access card. Golf classics, charity events, banquet events. That's your access. Like right now, I'm joining a real estate group under this girl. I'm not even all that excited about her. I'm joining it because the people in the group are going fast. Same thing with the apartment syndication group I'm in. I'm not even excited about the apartments we pick. I'm excited about the people in the group because out of 700 people, 680 are tech folks. Another 20, 30, really we're up a little bit. I think we're up to 800 people, but the business owners are like maybe 100 people. So you're wanting to learn about stuff. You're wanting to break into industries. You need to just literally, you can go look on Instagram for 5 minutes and see if that person has a networking group, if they're where you want to be in life or what they're doing, and then you connect inside that group. There are people here at the Classy Climb who've partnered and bought multiple short-term rentals together, Airbnbs. People start businesses together. People don't start courses together. People that did all kind of stuff. People that went and worked for other people I know. Outside of me. That's how I know this environment is good and healthy. That's why I'm not really worried about many things on this YouTube channel. In LinkedIn, okay? LinkedIn, reverse engineer. Who's all the people at the company you're trying to talk to? Who's all the people on staff? Who can you connect with in there? Who can you cold email? Because that's what most people are doing, right? We just had stimulus come out, and in general, if you look at the stimulus from 2020 to now, it was $5 trillion. 1.8 trillion went directly to people. The other money went into, businesses, government, et cetera, et cetera. But that's why when people say, oh, the stimulus money is gone now. For who? There are businesses I know right now that just got started because they're getting ready to take advantage of the Biden infrastructure bill. Come on. They getting ready to rake it up for another 2 years. So when people talk about the economy is going to crash, it's going to be a recession, I go, for who though? The recession's for people who aren't plugged in. The recession's for people who didn't want to learn and unlearn. The recession's for people who are trying to be some lone wolf. Now, let me be very clear. Somebody's gonna come back later and be like, Erica, I got kids. Ooh, I get it. You just spent 7 hours a day on Instagram, but just because you're kids. Okay, cool. So there's people that were married who have kids, but I'm saying once a month, you can't squeeze in an event. Once a month, you can't go to a Chamber of Commerce event. Once a month, you can't go to something in your city. Majority what cities create are for families. The poppy festivals, the Christmas tree lightings, the first and the fifth, kind of the flea market action downtown, all that stuff is for families, right? But you should get to know every business owner that's on them squares when you go do visit. It's as simple as that, right? And so right now the guy was complaining that people are taking out home equity loans. This is crazy. It's 8 or 9%. And I said, you got a huge population of people who would never have access to a lump sum $150,000, $200,000 cash. This puts them in another position in life. I know 5 real estate agents right now who, if it wasn't for the equity in their house that they're using to do short-term loans, they're using for a little bit of stocks, they're using for a little bit of here and there, little flips, they gave some hard money guy 6 months and then he turned around and give him back some money. Like they would be hurt because real estate is not like house selling right now. It's a shift in the market. And if somebody really tells me they're a realtor and they're not trying to get no rentals, they're not trying to get no notes, no land, I just look at them like, okay, good luck. Because that's not realistic. Everybody knows long-term real estate agents who are successful and wealthy, not just successful, but wealthy, they have investments. You're telling me you look at real estate all day, you interact with title companies, loan officers, banks all day, and you don't have no access to none of this? What part of the game is you playing? But that's my friend used to say, they're losers. He's like, they're just trying to be realtors. They're just trying to dress nice and show houses, and that's not the business. That's a part of it. That's a job, but that's not the business. So what's the real cost? The real cost isn't the license and the fees. It's for you to get in and real money. Like right now, a big thing right now is Santos is being expelled from Congress. Now, I have so many things I want to say about this Latino man but I'm gonna be respectful. But I feel like he came in there and he was greedy. Not just regular greedy, not like, hey, we're gonna get some stock market money and be greedy, but like too greedy. Right? He's 35. Again, y'all keep putting these people in Congress who you know, they aren't they aren't polished. They ain't. Somebody call him the biggest liar in Congress. So, you know what I mean? Again, I can read some of the charges real quick. I can put it on the screen too. Because really what he, I'm gonna just tell y'all, I'm gonna be nice. Let me put this down. And this is why it's the power of who you know, right? Because he not the only one doing it, but this is who got caught. That's how I'm gonna say that. He make New York look real bad. He making New York look real bad right now. New York already look bad in my mind, but he making it look worse. Congressman George Santos charged with conspiracy, wire fraud, false statements, falsification of records, aggressive identity, aggravated identity theft, and credit card fraud. So let's just sum it up. Okay. He made charges. He was stealing people's identity, and he made charges on his donors' credit cards without their authorization. Now let me put that to you in the real world. Let me put it in the real world. This man ain't stole nobody identity, and he ain't made no charges on nobody credit card. What happened is these donors, these people who bankroll these Congress officials, was probably covering too many items for this particular man, and he did not come through on his end of the bargain. So guess what? Now it's stealing. Because even now he's like, oh, there's receipts of non-existent loans and contributions that were either fabricated or stolen. This is crazy. Who would do this? He's led multiple additional fraudulent criminal schemes, lying to the American public. He stole identities of his family members and used their credit card information. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Come on, man. You in Congress? Do y'all really believe somebody in Congress who's walking around semi busy all day has enough time to go steal aunties and uncles' credit cards and rack up charges on them? I just want y'all to understand this is a we getting this boy out. He was being greedy, or he didn't play the game the way we want, and we getting him out. I just want y'all to understand that, because it don't even make sense. If you really listen to the case and you just have enough thought process, like, so he had time to do all this when? Okay, cool. If you say so, he didn't do it by himself. That's for certain. So again, he's from New York, making New York look terrible, getting expelled, right? Again, you have to start asking people. They're going to have a special election within 10 days. Okay, they're like, he has not served the people of New York well. Again, I keep telling y'all, the people that go up there, the people that are going up to Congress, this is in front of his office. This was like they were Israeli people putting the kidnapped victims up. But I just want y'all to understand, like, that didn't happen in a vacuum. Old boy won't sit in no garage somewhere stealing identities and running up credit cards. I want you to be very clear on that. Old boy didn't do what somebody said he needed to do. And so now it's like, oh, he was stealing. Yeah, he was doing some crazy mess there. He was stealing. He was doing all this all of a sudden. Okay. Okay. Cool. He only lasted 11 months in Congress. I want y'all to understand, he didn't have enough what? Network. I'm just being honest. He didn't have enough relationships to whatever's going on over there. They said, oh, let's get him on out of here. He gonna learn today. He gonna learn today. Um, Part of why I'm even bringing this up is when I talk to people about conferences, going out of their house, meeting people for events, joining associate. Oh, I ain't got time for that. Y'all be online anyway, doing 2, 3, 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour hangouts anyway. You got time. You got time. Let's cut that out. Let's cut that out. You got time. You're not fooling nobody. You got time. So even if it's once a month, that means if you do something once a month for 12 months, you showed up 12 times. Like this is all numbers based, right? Because it's really who you know. Because now they're going to start looking, if they dig back enough, which most people won't, how this guy get elected? Who is he running against? Who paid for his campaigns? Who, like, again, these are questions nobody really wants to ask. They just hear, oh my God, he stole people's identities. Nah, there's more to this story, but we're going to leave it there. But it's like, who's in this circle? Who's in your groups? What conferences are you going to? There's one conference I'm going to in January. I don't even want to go, but I'm going because like 12 of the people I need to speak to are there. So I had to be in the place to be in the space and hit them all at one time with the hammer and call it a day. Right. And so people don't understand that's really how that works, because first and second quarter are going to be funky. They just are. They just are. Right. Most people right now are waiting on their taxes. Certain income brackets of people are like, oh God, I can't wait for the refund checks. I'm so excited for the refund checks, because Christmas was lackluster. It just was. Why do you think Keith Lee and some of these people that do reviews are so desired in our community? Because they can financially change a whole, like, hey, Keith Lee went to somebody in Pearland's pudding location, right? And now she's got lines out the door for the past 3 days in a row. He just changed her financial future, did he? But she literally messaged him 12 times. He brought it up. She's messaged me 12 times. How many business owners would be willing to message one particular influencer 12 times and tagging him on stuff on her page, doing all this stuff to get him to come to their restaurant because they know it's life-changing? The real cost to getting money is other people. Grant Cardone drives people crazy with this, but he always says, Zig Ziglar, you can go back. Zig Ziglar, whoever. How you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. Because nobody cares about what you want. Only you care about what you want. Everybody else is where, how can they get access to what they need? And that's what people aren't ready to hear. People aren't ready to hear, it's not about what you want. I'm real sorry. It's about what other people want. It's not about what you want. And so what happens is what I told y'all, and I mean it, I've told y'all this for my other groups. I am literally, there's going to be Facebook groups we create, and it's going to be solving someone's problem. They're going to blow up to 100,000 people, and we're going to have sales teams selling to them actively in those groups. Through what? Conversation, relationships. We'll be documenting this stuff in digital real estate, okay? Because at the end of the day, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go on this tour next year. Every city, we're going to help you craft an ad for Google, YouTube, Facebook. It's just the people that do just a little bit more next year going to be. And again, you don't have to lose yourself in constantly creating content. We're going to show you, and one or the two of the guests I'm trying to bring to Las Vegas and one other location, we're going to show you. It's a reverse engineer. Get it knocked out one time and get it charted out for the rest of the year. But people don't want to hear that. People want to hear it's hard. It's difficult. It's so hard to do. Okay. Right? Because if you look inside these groups, people tell you, oh, you need a college degree. You need an internship. You need 2 years doing this, 2 years doing that. Well, by the time you look up, you done spent 7 years doing this. Instead of spending an active 3 to 6 months connecting on LinkedIn with hiring managers and recruiters and people that will get you in the door without all the paperwork. This is just the facts, right? We went to the real estate event for building low-income housing and housing in general in Texas. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. Give me the 10 mil. What's up, government? And then I realized, like everything else, I'm going to have to get into not bed, actual bed, but get into bed with this person's ideology. Okay, this person's in Houston. This person's in Austin. This company's down the street from me in Round Rock. The only way they want to even do another partnership is if I do A, B, and C, or if I'm cool to do it. Like I told y'all, so crazy is at what we realized is when you get this $10 million from the government and you do these government, low income housing, let's just go there. And some of these deals, you get tied into these people for 15 years because the government want to make sure nobody just builds some crap and runs off. Everybody's tied in together for 15 years and they're getting payments and you're managing it, but they really get the most of its payments. So most of these companies are like, do I even want to deal with you? That's really where it's at. Do I want to deal with you? Do we want to do business with you and got to keep looking at you for 15 years? Because most people say, oh, it's racism. They won't work with me. They won't give me the loan. I'm like, nah, half of these companies, the government is giving them the money, but do they want to work with you? Do they want to talk to you every quarter? Do they want to do golf with you? If you don't feel like the pleasant person they want to be spending the next 15 years with, no, they don't got to. And this is something people get really offended on, but it's the truth. A lot of these situations, these companies have to do the basis of, man, do we really want to interact with this person for the next 10 years on this contract? Even government contracting, do we want to deal with this particular business? Every 2 years, got to keep talking to these people. You got to do the math on some of this stuff. Again, the service business stuff, when we talk to middleman of millions, a lot of this service business stuff, we interact with other companies. Other companies will give you their spillover in good times and in bad times. Why? Because if you have 100 customers, nobody serving, and you don't get to control where they go, now they can go out anywhere in the marketplace. Build somebody else, build your enemy up. So I think I told y'all when Fayetteville had a storm and everybody's trying to turn on their fireplace, my mom tried to turn on hers. It was smoking. It was terrible. It was crazy. So we had to call a chimney sweep company. We called a first company. Man, we're busy for 6 weeks, but call these people. We call those people. He said, but or you can call this people or this people. So we call the second guy. He said, man, I'm busy for 2 weeks, but you can call this other guy. I called the third guy. He's like, we can be out there Tuesday. It was like 4 days later. He's like, we can be there right away. Thank you so much. And I looked in the phone book and I realized they were the only 3 dudes in town, but the first dude spends all the money on marketing. And anybody whose phone number runs through the first guy and the third company services them, they have to give them a kickback. And I was like, they're like, first thing he said on the phone, how did you find us? Oh, so-and-so chimney company recommended you. Okay, thanks. And they made clearly somewhere making a note, phone calls are recorded. And so you have to realize that, it's not even, do I want to work with these people? Do I want to refer these people? Will they be in my network? How does this benefit both of us? I don't think you understand, but there was a time, and this is how short people's brains are on the internet. And that's okay, no disrespect. But it does sound disrespectful, right? Lewis Howe, Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, the magician guy, and one other guy was all in a cabal. That's the best way I can call it, a cabal. And they would migrate and move each other's traffic. Of course, Lewis House really took off during the pandemic. Meet Kevin really took off. Graham Stephan was still high. The other two are still up there. They've got thousands of dollars coming in. Don't feel sorry for them. But they were literally in a networking situation to grow each other's channels. That's why when people try to tell me, oh, their content's just so great, I'm like, they use all the same camera people. They use all the same editor. It's not about the quality of the camera. It's a certain push off, right? Ryan Pieta spent $20,000 3 months in a row in March, April, and May 2020 of the pandemic. He was the only person advertising on TV in Las Vegas. So now he has the spillover of millions of dollars, right? And he tries to play it like, oh, I don't even know how this channel blew up. You knew how the channel blew up. You were on TV. And those millions of dollars help you funnel into the business. And then just the exposure lets people bring business to you. People bring me business opportunities all the time. I just be like, no, can't do that. Don't want to do this. Don't want to do that. All right. So again, the real cost to access millions is not like, oh, it's so hard to make $1 million. It's really just the math and who is there, who's in the position beside me. Right? Because something y'all keep showing me, which it cracks me up and makes me laugh. Oh, see, all these companies are dropping the college requirement, Erica. No, they're not dropping the college requirement because college has fallen out of favor. They're dropping the requirement because they had to explain in lawsuits why so many of their people that are hired don't have degrees, don't have certifications. They're just someone who knows somebody. That's what that is. It's not, oh, they're doing it for the people. No, they're not doing it for the people. There are so many guys hired on staff that if an Indian guy or an Asian guy with a lot of degrees and certs gets passed up for a promotion, he can go and sue and say, well, that guy don't have none of this. And I don't understand why I'm being passed over. Well, so now if I take the college requirement out of the job position, it doesn't matter he doesn't have a job. It doesn't matter he doesn't have a credit. It doesn't matter he doesn't have a college degree. It's because he has experience. Oh, we said he had experience, so that's why we chose him. Where's his experience in, right? because that's a lot what's going on right now. People don't understand that's what's happening, but that's what's happening. This isn't because they feel so sorry for the American people getting college student loan debt. This is a moment of people gonna start suing, right? Even Cassie, listen, being stepping lightly. The P Diddy thing is what people didn't realize is the P Diddy thing when they got sued, she sued P Diddy as an employee. There's a million ways to get around something. She didn't sue P Diddy as ex-lover. So P Diddy didn't even get a choice in settling this, right? This wasn't a like, oh, I had to choose. No, no, no. Wasn't a choice. Wasn't a choice. Let me see if I can pull it up for 2 seconds. Let me see if I got it. If I don't, I don't. I may have just put it in the put it on the community wall. But yeah, go watch it. Go look it up. Because once she sued P Diddy as an employee, it no longer was about well, P Diddy supposedly did this or he treated her this way. It literally became a limited liability conflict of interest. It literally became, oh, what happened? Oh, while you were working? Oh, okay, that's illegal. Oh, you sued him as a director? Oh, okay. So now there's two different insurances that had to be triggered: limited liability and commercial directors insurance, and some errors and omissions and some other stuff that all got triggered, right? Because I don't think y'all remember Tavis Smiley. Tavis Smiley slept, he had one or two girlfriends from the Tavis Smiley show. You know what I'm saying? He was doing what he do. But when they sued PBS, they sued it as my employer created a relationship with me, and underneath that, I was punished. PBS had to pay because of the work environment conditions, right? So what people don't understand is a lot of this stuff is not it's not as simple as you guys are making it, but a lot of it is who you know and what you know, and the angle that they can tackle you in. It's all paperwork. Death by paperwork. Networking is how the rich get rich, stay rich, and keep the club exclusive. Yeah, there is a luxury car club here in Austin. You have to have a luxury car of a certain amount of value to even apply. You have to take pictures of the car. You have to provide the deed information before you can even be considered and apply if you want to join. Because Austin has what? Just like Miami, a bunch of young car guys who made some money, right? So they're going to make their group exclusive. There's a entrepreneurs business group that you pay $25,000 to join, and then they have meetups in like New York, Miami, California. They only have but so many a year, but you're paying $25K to get in the door. Someone paying $25K to get in the door would have to literally be in a position to be like, okay, $25K is nothing, right? So I've held myself back from networking and trying the lone wolf way because I never wanted to seem a leech to people that are where I want to be. Ego, pride, maybe, but understand now, baby, you are of value. How can you be of value to them? How can they be of value to you? Everybody has some value. If you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go together, go. Yeah, listen, I'm telling y'all, my business is in healthcare. I joined the healthcare advisory board, my city. Congratulations. Because watch, somebody going to be like, do you know anybody who can do this healthcare thing? And all of a sudden they're going to call you, right? When people are talking to me about home healthcare or right now there is the veterans, one of the veterans homes in Fayetteville had to close, right? And all of a sudden, magically, 4 veteran places were chosen. One in Raleigh, one in Salisbury, one 4 hours away from Fayetteville in the mountains. Well, come to find out, every one of those operators used to work at the one in Fayetteville. So they just called up their own friends. Because one family was complaining, oh, our father's going to be 4 hours away in the mountains. Why did they do this to us? And I said, because it's just numbers to them. It's just numbers to them. They moving people around for their friends. That's all. You can get whatever you want in life as long as you help enough people. Yeah, Zig Ziglar. The same way with membership-based networking groups. Yeah. Kickbacks making money. Always. Business insurance. P. Diddy, they hit him. Hit him with, listen. You see, she didn't talk about P. Diddy being flip-floppy. I'll leave it like that. Because then the LGBTQ would have came in and protected P. Diddy. She only talked about P. Diddy from the perspective of an employee who was in a bad contract in an abusive, violent situation with someone who was significantly older than her and also her boss. Come on, man. She also sued Sony. There you go. Sony, like, man, cut the check. Cut it today. Cut it right now. Cut it right now. Cut it. Yep, the companies would have been insurable. He had to settle and step down from Revolt. Yeah, and he's gonna sell it. That's why 50 Cent out here making fun of him. Talking, come on, brother, love, sell it to me. Clowning him because that's what he's got to do. They got rid of Tavis. Oh man, Tavis Smalley had an annual Black Caucus. What was it called? And they already had one plan coming up, and they had fired Tavis and had to cancel and refund tickets. That's how much they didn't care about that. They're like, oh, we don't even care. We'll refund the whole stadium. You know what I mean? Come on. That's why he had to step down and Revolt, messing with the insurance. Listen, insurance will get you every time. Insurance will get you every time. Because they on a different level of policy. They can't have no gray area. They can't have no Me Too's. They can't have no speculation of inappropriate stuff going on. None. There's a errors and omission insurance. It covers up to about 100,000, depending on the policy. It covers up to 100,000 of if your employee steals money, your employee, takes checks, your employee does any of these little weird things, you're covered and they'll just pay it. But you're going to have to show them what your systems are. You're going to have to show them how does your company receive money? How to deposit money? Who deposits money in the bank at night? If it's a service business, do y'all accept credit cards over the phone? What kind of system do y'all take credit cards on before they will give you the reimbursement check? So, I mean, again, you can go on Next Insurance and check this out. This ain't me making this up. But all this is important to know. Why? Because when you start making money, you eventually become somebody's target. Somebody's greedy, hungry, want to attack you. They'll look for you. But if you're inside these groups, the first sign of a problem is who's your attorney? Who's your attorney? Who's your attorney? Who's your insurance company? Oh, I went to this insurance company. People are going to give you up the information. They're going to give you the data. Now I'm going to show you another one over here. Now I told y'all the 5 things like the dude told us that always invest in if there's bad or good times: agricultural, oil, gas, real estate, and essentials. I think he said clothing and stuff too. Errors and omissions. Yeah. So here is this guy. I want to show y'all this. And many people are like, oh, Erica, you in this affiliate marketing. And I'm showing it to you because there's so many reasons why, but y'all will notice more next year. This is Build Wealth Farmer. He's got 70,000 people follow him. He's an affiliate marketer, but he's truly a farmer. Now, why am I showing you this? Because he got in a group of people who are like, hey man, you know how to do this? Let me show you how to do this. You got time? You got 3 hours a day? Let me show you how to do this. And Diamond Dave saluted him. He posted on his community wall where some of these companies like Netflix and them were affiliate marketing other companies because it's that common. All right. Again, this guy's going to be on the farm anyway. Farmers are having what? Tight money times. Anyway, he make a few videos. Now he's hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. He's showing you the farm, right? He's showing you the farm, which he can do what later? If he has certain products and services, sell you on those products and services, right? But also lead you to what? Lead magnet on this. Many, many, many people who, oh my God, I don't want to build an Instagram. I don't want to do this. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. My upper class friends look down on me, but keep inviting me to their parties. Well, Yeti Garms, how are you dressing when you come? What are you talking about? Are you being loud? Are you being disrespectful? What are you doing when you get there? Are you blending in with the group? Right? So even on here, I don't know if you guys can see it because it looks small. I may make it bigger. Let me see if I make it bigger. You see, he made $50 the first month, 1,000, 3,000, 12,000. Then he made 25,000 multiple months in a row. Now he's a farmer. Let's keep it a buck. There are seasons where farmers don't make a lot of money and a lot of money's going out and they're repairing a lot of things. So now you have this income stream from you coming on the internet and posting some content. Could you use an extra 25,000 in a month, y'all? Because I keep telling y'all, if you go back and watch my old video about the snowball method, something takes off on these little platforms. You wake up one day and you're like, I got 1 million views. What happened? But that's how these platforms work, right? So I'm just showing different examples because I want y'all to understand, like, This isn't overly complicated what these people are doing. They're filming like a few seconds of their life and they're keeping it moving. You dig? And applying things that people want, not what he wants, what they want. In the past 10 months, he's gained 70,000 subscriber followers and he's made $100,000 in digital marketing. Now, you know, his farmer friends probably like, man, what you doing over there? Minding my business. Minding my business. Okay. So long and the story short, I hope that made sense. I hope that was helpful. There's so many little things I would love to show y'all and talk about, but um, if you don't learn nothing else from this channel, like the best thing you can do is whatever is your field of specialty is LinkedIn. LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn, but link in with other people because that's you're gonna move faster, farther, quicker. Right? And people are like, oh, Erica, you do everything by yourself. I really don't. I really have a whole network of people that I am interacting with. And what happens is if one person gets a big enough snowball, right? Because this is my thing. Sometimes one person takes off and then they leave the group. That happens. But my goal for my people in my little syndicate is I'm going to blow these ads up and blow next year up so big that the spillover spills into their cup as well. So that's just usually how it works. You know, that's usually how you connect with people. But I have friends who are real estate agents right now who are chilling because they're doing little micro loans. They're doing little stuff with their 150,000, 200,000 of equity, and they're not stressing because they know there's shifts in the market. But a lot of people, if they leave here, they're gonna have to go get a job doing anything because they didn't prepare anywhere. They didn't store up anything. That's a dangerous place to be. You should be at any time if you lose a job, be able to reach out to 15 people in that first day. Cold email, whatever, that first day. If you had any job, you should have a list of all the employees that's at that job, almost in your at least on your floor in your department, that you can find on LinkedIn. I tell my students fostering relations is equally, if not more important than getting your degree. It is. I'm telling you, like the reason people go to college is it's a finishing school. And we don't use those terms anymore, but they're called finishing schools. Most people that went to college went to a boarding school at some point in their youth, that last senior year of high school or whatnot. So instead of them in those small country towns getting married to somebody and working at the factory, they went to the boarding school and then they went to college. And now they had a new access of people they were going to connect with. They had the women's college and the men's college across the street from each other in many cities. Many cities. You can see that even now, even parts of Texas, you have a women's college across the street from a Christian men's college. And then they would do all these events together. It happens all the time. It's a combination of who you know and the environment they're mixing you guys into. I'm telling you, Katrina, there's no way you're telling me that you've been working in a particular field for 15 years and you can't think of 15 people in the first day you get laid off. What were you doing? Now, most people say, well, Eric, I just come to work, and I go home and I deal with my kids. And I'm like, I hear you. But you tell me once a month you can't get connected to nothing? There are people inside these Facebook groups with hundreds of people they connected with in their cities and states. There's people on LinkedIn half the day anyway. You tell me there's not 15 people you can't reach out to? Again, anytime I've been stuck in a project, I reached out to everybody I knew. Hey, I'm having a hard time with this, or hard money, or a architect, or this or that. And within a couple hours, oh, go to this person, sign up to this person, call this person. That's how that works. Right? When I told y'all about Max Tuning had the Sour Strips County. He sent out 400 free boxes a week to influencers. It didn't even require them to post it, but 400 a week for a year. You do the math on that. I can do it right now on the computer. Hold on. 400 times, let's say 50 weeks out of the year instead of 52. That's 20,000 boxes of candy. But he also made $40 million in candy sales in 1 year. Why? It's who you know. It's who's promoting it. It's how many people connected. Oh, you have 7 friends with million subscriber count pages talking about your candy. Too quick, too easy. That's why you see so many of these young people with these clothing lines that blew up so fast. They get all their inner circle to wear the same clothes, market the clothes, boom, blow up. It's not even that hard. We live in a very relationship based society. And if I see you doing something and I want to share in it, then we share together. That's what it's built on. So these people telling you they're gonna go, and then again, I'm not beating up on them, but I'm just, you're gonna go get a passport, move to another country, and create a whole new community somewhere else. That's gonna take years. I mean, you can pluck one person out of their community, but you don't have a community when you get there. When people tell me, "Oh, I moved to Atlanta, then I moved to Charlotte, then I moved here," I'm like, "Baby, you need a community, no matter where you go." This is just basics. It's simple. So I hope this was helpful. Did you guys have any questions? Any questions about networking? Any questions about creating a network? I can tell you, when I first came to Austin, I went out 5 to 6 days a week between different events. And I mean, within the first 3 weeks, I was offered a job that was $70K a year from somebody at my church. He was the business owner. He could just do what he wanted, right? And I know it works. And anytime you get a hiccup or you're not doing something well, like I posted that video I did with the company LM, and the reason I joined with them and work with them is because it's like very network based. It's not network marketing. No, no, no. But they're basically like, "Hey, look, I got this new list of affiliates. Have you seen these affiliates? Have you seen these affiliates? Do you know this company's giving us $5,000? Hey, check this out, blah, blah, blah." And that's all they're doing is sharing information with everybody within their network. Like, "Hey, Lululemon giving a bonus this month. Hey, Target's giving a bonus this month. Hey, this company's giving a bonus." And so when you sit here and you talk to people about what's the true cost to access millions, it's going to be people. It's going to be people on the other side of that table. Who are the people that you're talking with? Who are the people you connected with? Who can help you solve your problem? Right? You should totally super chat this, but I'll bite. A little off topic. Do you in the chat think there's still value in black news and media? I'm asking because I have opportunity to buy a 100-year newspaper with legacy pictures, articles, and domains. Let me be very clear. Everything in America is created for black people. Oh my God, Erica, you can't say that. I did. Let me say it again because somebody's going to clip this and I don't care. Everything we have in our culture in America is made for black people. Now, let me clarify. If I make a shirt and it's inappropriate in some way towards black people, guess what I just bought myself? I bought myself at least 2 weeks of free media publication from black people. And they're going to talk about me and they're going to super chat me and they're going to, "Oh, we're going to cancel you." And they're going to run my domain number up. They're going to have me out there leaking famous, right? We see it every couple of years with these clothing companies. If I create a music, now I'm going to tell you this. I think Sexy Red is not only an industry plant, she is a mockery of black people because the pendulum is swinging towards black positivity, black R&B coming back really strong, black soul music coming back really strong. Robert Glasper run the Grammy, and all these other black people are like, "Well, who's this guy?" He's a guy who wrote over 300 people's R&B songs. He's famous. He can go all around the old United States and do nonstop tours, which he is doing right now, and go to Europe and sell out every single city. Chris Brown cannot do that. We've seen it. Chris Brown cannot do it. He has to bring on 15 different other people on stage to make it happen. The pendulum is always swinging back away from that. Okay? So when people say, "Can this work for black people?" Baby, the PPP is now associated with what? Black people. Oh, black people were cheating on the PPP. Right? Let's really go there. Let's go there. I'm gonna cut up. Anyway, long story short, when you're on YouTube doesn't have an incentive to pay black people well. It doesn't have an incentive to fix the algorithm for us. It doesn't have an incentive to do it because we will still be on here creating content because we know the power of if I create content and if Erica Williams with this tiny ass channel can raise $1.5 million and network all across the country and then do 4 million in sales off this tiny ass channel, why would I give more black YouTubers? Why would I give more black YouTubers big platforms? No, they're going to work for free anyway. Why would I? Right? Let's go there. BET. When they wanted to sell BET to Tyler Perry, all of a sudden they doubled the price on it. Half the theme pages that are black focused on Instagram are owned by Jewish people. Vlad, Adam 22. There's several of these websites that people when they got sold, they were like, hold on, he owns that? The only one that gets the most flack and trouble is Say Cheese TV, and that's owned by a black guy in Dallas, Texas, who's been has been twice now. Somebody's tried to kill him. Okay, so when people ask me, does black media still have value? Everything in this country is targeted towards us. Every single thing. They had a movie with Asian girls that came out, and every Asian girl had a black voice, blackest voice, neck tingling, slapping their fingers, snapping their fingers, black thing going on. Movie didn't do well. But who was that for? Was that for Asian people? Was that for white people? That wasn't for them. Come on now. Listen, I'm in native groups where they get mad about black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like I'm trying to be good. I'm about to cut some of this. But right now, Section 8. There's 3 white dudes teaching Section 8. Renting to Section 8 people, and they're all trying to act real hood, except for the cruise guy from North Carolina. He's being really normal. But the other 2, I'm a hardcore white boy. I literally do Section 8. Why are you doing that? Who is that for when majority of people in Section 8 are white? What are you doing? Who is he selling that to? Us. So when people ask me, is there money in black media? What are you talking about? You can't see, baby. You're blind. Majority, 90% of what this country pitches is for black people. Did you see the 40-ounce waters? Now, black people bought it and laughed, but most white people were buying it because they thought it was hilarious. Hilarious. Comical. Right? Look at the sports. Look at NBA. Look at NCAA. Why are so many people against the students being paid? Who are the 80% of the damn students playing? So now, instead of me saying, hey, I'm not going to play for this school for free and be just so grateful I'm playing football for free, you need to pay me for my body. And they're literally telling you quarterbacks are going to make $1 to $2 million to get a good one every year. There are people who are like, how dare those people make all that money off sports? Well, baby, who's in the stadiums paying to see it? Come on. Who's at the Super Bowl paying $8,000 a ticket? Now, I'm not trying to be smart to you, old head, but to tell me, do you think there's still like, what are you blind? I mean, you could probably open that up tomorrow and start promoting, because there's a pendulum that swings both ways. Classy black people. Now you're going to get certain marketers coming over here trying to sponsor post on it. You go the other way with ratchet black people. You got people coming over there sponsoring market a post on it. We all know this. This is very clear. Bridgerton, Grey's Anatomy. Shonda Rhimes wrote Scandal. Shonda Rhimes revived a ABC channel. They had a thank God it's Thursday, thank God it's Friday over there. It was from all her stuff. One black lady. Disney got smart with her. She took her stuff and went to Netflix. Come on, man. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with this. Are you trolling me? I think you're trolling me. You got to know. You'd have to be a blind man not to see. Shit, Ray Charles can see that. Met a lady on a plane on the way back to Houston who was telling me about she used Facebook groups to network and she met her husband that way. There you go. Listen, if you ask the average white person, what do they think about Houston? They're like, oh, it's so ghetto. I said, what about Dallas? It's nice. Well, why is Houston ghetto? Houston has a perception of being a black city. It's a very diverse city. It's a lot of concrete. It's not as green as Austin at all. But it has every kind of culture there. It has 2/3 of the state's population there. But if you ask the average white person, Houston's so terrible. Why? It's just terrible. Then they get all stupid acting. It's just not nice. Okay. Why do Asians create businesses and lock us out of them? Hair salons, black people. Okay, come on. Y'all being goofy out here. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but you're being goofy. Erica, I appreciate you and your great content. I'm getting my associate degree in business management because I saw your veteran in your chat 1 year ago talking about the VRAAP program that probably was Mr. John Ditska. Okay, probably. I'm not certain, but thank you for the super chat. Oh Lord, we got some more stuff in here. But it probably was John. I just knew these Fridays. I'm just being honest. I'm just going unfiltered, so it don't matter. Afro Blue is the jam. Thank you, Bob, for the $5 for that. How do you conduct yourself when you find a community? Do you just participate in the event and volunteer? So I was gonna do a whole training on volunteer to position yourself to whatever. There was a girl we knew. She volunteered so much at United Way. She ended up marrying a millionaire, and she wasn't the most attractive girl. She was skinny, but she was like, even other men were like, she ain't even that good looking. Why he picking her? Other men were saying that because the men are messy sometimes too. But it was because she was in the space. She was always volunteering. She was always at the banquets. She was always, oh my gosh. So, if you know there's Chamber of Commerce events and you want to be around them, be around them. There's two white boys right here. You can go watch their interview on Bigger Pockets. If I can go find it, I'll share it on the community wall. They were 19 and 20 years old at University of Texas. They attended Monday through Friday, every single, for a year now, every single real estate meetup group there was in town. They would come, volunteer, set up the chairs, break down the chairs, make coffee, get waters, get teas, do whatever. They did that for a year. And at the end of the year, they got on stage and said, hey, me and my friend, we want to pitch for this apartment complex around the corner. It's in the hood and we want to buy it. And guess what? Every older white dude with some money there was like, you know what? I'm going to give them a chance because they've been hard working, volunteering all year long at all these events. I see them all the time. So it depends on what your angle is on volunteering. If you want to volunteer, do that for sure. But it's events. Like I know one girl, she was broke for a while and she was saying she she would volunteer, she would work as an event person, like $11-12 an hour, or as event security, because she's like, I got to see almost all the conferences and concerts I want. I'm working the event, but I also am working, like she's listening at the event. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's a million ways to do something. You choose one. I majored in marketing, and this is 1,000% true. Black outrage sales, Black FOMO sales, Black pride sales, Black sales, whether it's positive or destructive. Not only that, white rage sales. I mean, I'll go there. White fear sales, right? What did the NRA just do? The white dude's coming home in California. Two dudes run up behind him. He throws his coffee at him. He gets his gun. He's like, boom, 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 boom. He misses him. He can't shoot worth nothing, but he was trying. Because his wife and 5-month-old baby in the house. He was not about to let them get in that house with him. And guess what? Not even a week later, California say, hey man, we're gonna hold your your concealed carry for a few months, because that's how California do, until we finish investigating this, right? NRA got him up there a week later. They took my gun rights because I tried to defend my wife and baby at home. Oh my gosh. Right? And he's from Brooklyn, New York, who moved to California. Who leaves Brooklyn to move to California? People, I guess, but that's what he did. So here's this Brooklyn accent having guy, white guy, trying to save his family. Maybe it's sales, fear sales. Them car break-in video I showed you that Keep Night, I wish I could invest in. I'm so mad I can't invest in it. Because if you in Atlanta, you in San Francisco, these thugs, these criminals breaking into cars left and right, you're going to get their picture. You're going to get enough of their eyes and enough of their face and enough of their hands and enough of their pictures. Enough. We'll get enough pictures via all these snapping these photos. Well, they'll find you. They'll find you. Right? It is what it is. John said, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. Thanks, John, for the one and a half. It just is what it is. Facts. I'm just telling y'all. It just is what it is. A lot of people be winning on there. For sure. I didn't mean to go on a whole rant, but it is. We are. Why do you think there was such an outcry of these kids dancing online, and then somebody white come over and dance over them? Do the same dance, take the dance over. This is why creators get so mad. Like, hey, I created that first, but they don't know anything about patents. They don't know anything about business. So somebody come. I remember the girl said, it's a chicken salad. You should try it. Before the day was over, before 3 days was out, I think was it MySpace? Not MySpace. Meta had offered her $500. She was like, $500? This shit's viral. It's like 500 people use it. Weight Watchers comes along and goes, baby, we'll pay you $100K for the year. for that sound, and we'll make you a sponsor, and we're gonna do a commercial with you. So they got the girl cleaned up, got in and got a whole commercial. But you see, Facebook offered her $500. $500. That's what they thought she was stupid enough to take. Weight Watchers came through and said, "No, baby, we got 100 bands for you off of a freaking 45-second clip." Will Edmond, we show him in here all the time. Will, he's got a whole homestead up in Dallas. His family's owned that property for 100 years. It's been abandoned for the last 20. He came back. Now he's building a homestead on it, camping, glamping, all kind of stuff on it. He's had drone footage that he's took in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. Is it called Stone Mountain? If y'all in Georgia, tell me what it's called. It's that mountain where you walk up, it's real high, and everybody be walking up on the weekends up it. Whatever that mountain is. It's real rounded, sounded. People be walking up, struggling up the hill. He took drone footage of that. The Department of Tourism of Georgia bought it from him. Okay? And use it on their websites. Y'all don't understand the power of this content. There's somebody using one or two voice of my voice clips and they went viral. And everybody kept tagging me, "Erica, is this you? Is this you?" I said, "Yeah, but they changed my voice with a little sound noise machine just enough that you know it's me, but they changed it so I can't sue for, or I can't copyright strike it or anything." That's why when you go on YouTube, if you look on the bottom of your videos, it has a thing called allow remixing or don't. Now, if you're trying to go viral, allow remixing. If you ain't, block it. There's a million ways it went out here, y'all. Let me see. I remember when JP was in Congress trying to get them to help more Black business owners get pandemic monies. Look, he looked stressed. Stressed. And which JP you talking about? Let me make sure I'm thinking of the same one. Why do I see all the commercials with Black people? There you go. Our music in every commercial. Come on, man. They be overdoing it. Dallas is meh. I love Houston. Now, I meet a lot of white people all the time saying that. It's very funny. Erica, you got to see this young football cosplayer. He was a meme a couple years ago. Now he doing ads for Popeyes. Yes, in Dollar General while playing in community college, junior college. Yeah, I saw that. But again, they've been using that boy meme so young. It's 10 years later. He's finally getting compensated for the meme. Come on. Yep, the same couple on the plane told me to volunteer for livestock rodeo so I can go to all the tents for free. Yeah, all of it for free. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Out here in Oakland, San Francisco. Stone Mountain. Okay, Stone Mountain. So yeah, so you sitting here and I'm trying to tell y'all the power of this stuff is millions of dollars. You may not be, and the fact is Will make a video and it's like he's been testing this and some other people's been testing it. His video will be a Zach like his white counterpart. They'll release him on the same day. The white guy will get 600,000 views. He'll get 200,000 views. It's the same exact video. They're doing it on purpose. That's why when I be telling y'all about this YouTube stuff, y'all be like, "Oh, Erica, you could make better video quality, better audio." I'm like, baby, listen, I could be in a brand new studio and the channel could be dead. I know 3 people right now with brand new studios. Their channel is dead. Dead. Nah, I'm messing with you, old head. But go ahead. I was on a roll. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you. But again, you see the poster behind me. It's called Digital Liberty Tour. Somebody complained that I was selling it too much, baby. If you don't know about it, how can you go? Okay. Long the story short, we'll be doing Plano / Dallas, Texas, February 3rd, 4th. March 2nd and 3rd will be in Las Vegas. February 28th, I'll be in Las Vegas speaking at the Cleaning Biz Conference. Viva Las Vegas will be at Circa. We're going to be lit. It's going to be amazing. April is a surprise. We haven't locked all the stuff in yet, so I can't tell you about it. I can't even post, really. It makes me sad. May 4th and 5th, we will be in Atlanta, Georgia. On the 5th, your girl is going to wear a sombrero, probably a whole mariachi outfit if they let me get away with it. I got to see if I can rent it from one of them spots in Atlanta because they got them. I looked it up. I said, I might be really cutting up on that day. I got to get it together. But we will be serving, the hotel will be serving us for catering the tacos. The Fiesta Bar is what they're serving us. So you can check us out in Atlanta. Atlanta should have Acre Boys and 2 other speakers out of the New York region. and a service business person, and me teaching in depthly. We're going to make sure you can learn how to do YouTube, Facebook, and Google ads. That's what your girl's doing. I'm doing it as I'm showing it to you. I'll make sure I have a well knowledge by then. You're going to make sure you see the data. Okay. And we're testing about 1 to 3 ads every week. And there's a whole reason why we do it and how we do it, but you'll just have to come to the event to see. Okay. In June 8th and 9th, we'll be in Cabo, Mexico. In July, the third week. I think it's the third week. I have to go double check. We will be in Banff, Canada. Okay. That will release it when it's ready. Now we have had some contingent cities that have been petitioning greatly for us to come. That is Chicago has petitioned very hardly for us to come. Philly, DC has petitioned hard for us to come. And so I already told Philly people and DC people, y'all, it's the same to me. I'll get closer to Maryland. I don't know if that's an in between enough, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see. We'll see. No, after July, I'm probably going to be sitting down somewhere. I'll probably have to be sitting down by July. So you'll see me on the road and you'll figure it out. But anyway, so long and story short, I'll be out there as much as possible. You'll see what you'll see, and probably be sitting down by July, August. So again, we'll try as much to get out where we gotta go. But that's been some of our petition is Chicago for July. Some people have been like, "Yo, I got a spot, please." So we've had about 20 emails for Chicago. We're gonna see, and then we've got about 40 emails for Philly. I'm like, y'all, Philly rough. I even looked at some of the venues. I'm like, 40 Philly's rough. I'm like, you sure you don't want to meet me in Maryland on a pier somewhere? Y'all sure y'all don't want to meet me in closer to New York? Shit, I'll do New York. I don't know about that. Am I doing Austin? I can't give it away yet. We will. It depends on which project is done. If the project closer to Houston is done, or if the project closer to Central Texas is done, we'll dictate. We'll try our best to get that thing squeezed in though. But yeah, Chicago's a great summer city. There's a rooftop location. We're gonna try to lock it in. But if we can't, and again, look, there's days like we're 70 days away from our first event. I think still we're like 190 days from June. There's time in this schedule. If we want to add some more dates, we will. These events are usually, my goal is to get 40 to 75 people per event. This way y'all can network, connect, talk to each other, exchange cards. Anybody in here who came to the Atlanta, Georgia one, which was a meetup. It wasn't a conference, it was a meetup. But anybody who came to Atlanta, Georgia, a meetup can tell you in the chat it's a pretty good time. Most people exchange cards, exchange numbers. So that's what we will try to do. But yeah, your girl is excited. I'm excited for the tour. Cowboy hats, nice suits, mariachi, all of it. We're going to cut up. It'll be a good time. So this is your girl, Erica, from the Classy Climb blog, y'all. No, I'm not. I'm actually very much not. Somebody's funny here. It was conference level information. Yeah, we are very thankful that Dr. Dix, I was about to say something crazy. Dr. Dix came, Diamond Dave came, and Sub-Zero. So, I mean, again, they did a really great job of talking with everybody, connecting. It is what it is. Had a blast. Atlanta was fire. Had a blast in Atlanta. All that good stuff. So, hoping for Atlanta again. I will really try. Atlanta's going to be in May 4th and 5th. So, if you want to see us for Atlanta, May 4th and 5th is the best time. It's going to be a very nice hotel we have it at. I mean, I'm really excited. Florida. So the only spot in Florida we waiting to hear back from is Fort Lauderdale. I would do Fort Lauderdale, but everywhere else, good gracious. Florida be rough too. People be like, come to Jacksonville. I'll be like, Jacksonville, Florida. Which Jacksonville, Florida is way more improved now. So I can't even say that anymore. But Fort Lauderdale, maybe it's we have a lot of students out of Fort Lauderdale area, so that may be where we do it. But yeah, it's a tour. It's as much as we can squeeze in, as much as reasonable for us. That's what we'll do. Christopher, you got to ride on down from Tampa, then, man. You got to meet us halfway. I don't like Orlando. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't never really liked Orlando. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I don't vibe with it. I just don't. Clearwater's pretty cool. Fort Lauderdale's cool. In between is cool. But I don't. That's about it. I don't know any other spaces that are like gotta be there. So I ain't gonna lie to you. Mike Jones, DMV. Yeah, DMV. A lot of y'all send emails. Listen again. If you have a city in mind, I'm gonna tell you like this: email our staff at. Somebody said I live in Atlanta, but I'm from Jacksonville and I never go there. I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, Jacksonville. If y'all are that serious about DMV, you better email admin at Classic Climb TX. He keeps a tally of the emails and he puts them in a Google Drive for me and go, Miss Williams, this many people said something. What should I do? I might put in a Google Drive. We'll see how robust it is, and we'll go from there. So, because every city, I'm gonna pull out some surprise guests because that's just what we do. But we're gonna make sure it's packed. You're gonna get all the information. You're gonna make sure you get your ads rolling. It's gonna be lit. So this is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. If you want to see us before July or mid-July, hit us up at admin at classicclimbtx.com. We have our dates, some of our dates already released, and we will pick more dates for our Digital Liberty tour. uh you know what's the minimum need? I try to aim for 40 to 70 people, Mike Jones. I really do. We tally up the emails, we see where we can do, just because we want it to be good for you guys. And also when we do buffet styles or we pick the menu food, we just want to have a nice kind of mix. So and that's enough people for y'all to actually interact with each other, and do ads and all that other good stuff. So it's a thing. So hit up the emails. I always tell y'all, if y'all want to have a city or something in mind, you better hit the emails up and let us know. It allows us to, again, that's why I asked y'all where y'all at. Okay. He about to petition. He better petition hard, man. Somebody said, I lived in Jackson for over the past 3 years and survived. I'm back in Tennessee now. I feel you. I feel you. Nashville is very beautiful. I don't know where you're at in Tennessee, but enjoy that. So anyway, this is your girl Erica, Classic Line Blog. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you on the road this upcoming year, and I'll holla later.